Welcome to Burnout Box, Season 2, Episode 42. I'm Justin.
And I'm Stangmode.
I'm Rebecca. And we are here on Friday Eve. I got to say it without being a weirdo. Well, until just now.
So he's got a stage name.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. We just drove 15 hours last night to be down here at V&P Performance. Super excited to be here. The Mamba made the trip. We have some things to show you in the videos coming up, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm a little nervous. This is a pretty popular show. I'm excited to be here. You know.
So I just busted out with that "you got a stage name" thing, and right to it.
He's better than us.
Right on cue.
I don't have a stage name. Rebecca kind of has a.
I do not have a.
You have a hashtag.
I have a hashtag,
yeah.
But as we discussed, people like you if they give you a nickname. And Chuck pointed out, well, Rebecca, you have a nickname. It's TVS Queen. And I said, yeah, but I gave it to myself.
The TVS Queen was back in action this weekend at the track.
I was, and the car was awesome. The driver needs a little
The driver
work.
did pretty good.
The driver did all right.
Yeah, 167 miles an hour isn't just all right. It's flying down the track and stopping, testing out the chute, everything.
Yep. Much to Chris's dismay, I didn't use the chute again over the weekend.
That was my opportunity.
Yep.
GoPro was waiting the second time, which never came.
And I decided not to throw it again after, because we made that last pass.
I was impressed, I guess, or pleasantly surprised that with the, the 50 the weight you had to add for Mod Motor Nationals, we had to put a passenger seat in the car, and that, that with the additional speed, that you were still able to stop without throwing the chute. So that's really good. Because the chute's just a pain in the butt.
It is a pain in the butt, and especially the way that I was parked, I had to do this walk down the corner to fold my chute.
Yeah, you got to stretch the chute out and do this and that and fold it up and stuff it all in there. It takes all of Rebecca's 104 pounds.
Yep. Sure does.
Yeah, big spring in the.
We should let us know, guys, if at some point you would like us to do a show on safety gear, because we can talk about parachutes, and we can talk about fire suits and fire suppression and helmets and whatever you guys want to talk about. But if it's something that would be interested in you, I'd be happy to talk about it. I have experience with a couple different types of chutes, so we can talk about that. And
Hans devices.
yeah, I have a lot of experience with that.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. We just had lunch, and about safety equipment is such a big hot topic now. Where I race at ATCO, if you run under 11.2, you got to have a fire jacket. And if you run anything under a 10, now you have to have a cage. So because of the rule, it's better to be safe than sorry. But these cars are so fast anymore that you don't realize your car is out of compliance when
It can sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really quickly. So, Mod Motor Nationals, we've got a show of hands as to who went to Mod Motor Nationals.
I did.
Yes, and for our viewers that are watching, just drop a comment if you made it out there. It was a good weekend. It was a challenging weekend.
It was a rainy weekend.
Yeah. Thursday had great weather, so everybody that got there early for testing had great weather, great times.
People got there early?
Yeah, we were changing head gaskets. We wanted to be there early. Didn't quite happen. And then we had rain Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
And the crew worked really hard to get the track cleaned up Sunday morning and actually run the whole race on Sunday.
And Justin Young, I have got to give the man a shout out. I've been involved in a lot of racing at this point. He was decisive. He communicated really well with what we were going to do and how we were going to do it and when decisions were going to be made. And when the decisions were made, he stuck to them. And there was no ambiguity. It was, for a crappy situation that he had no control over, it was the best possible scenario. I was thrilled with how things were communicated, how the decisions were made, and how fair everything was. I really have to give it to
Yeah.
Justin Young.
Yeah, because a lot of races will be, we don't know this and that, and then this is going to happen, and then they change their mind, and there was none of that with Mod Motor Nationals. So,
Dorian wants to see Stangmode do a burnout in Mamba.
Yeah, that's not a problem. We're going to probably do, we have some footage coming up here at VMP where we'll probably do like some last Swan Song NA clips. Maybe a last NA startup, a last NA burnout.
oh God.
Being here, they're talking about parachutes and things like that, whereas I'm just excited to get a 1090. So we'll probably do some stuff here. So Dorian, friend of the channel and also a friend of VMP Performance, we'll see if we can fulfill that command on the videos coming up. So thank you for that.
So 10R80 Daily brings up something else that we were going to talk about. So yes, Mike Sabrowski and went a 7.9 with his VMP Gen 3R Secret Sauce, which is the Stage 3 port technology.
Whole lot of effort into that car.
Yeah.
Whole lot of effort from him and Keith, and putting it all together and going that 7-second pass, and it was amazing to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got the car really figured out. They've got a great crew, which is Keith, Mike's son, and
The guys at JPC.
and
yep.
yeah, and HPJ Performance
Yep.
as well was out there supporting them. So that was awesome to see. A lot of TVS cars ran, VMP TVS cars ran really, really good that weekend. El Toro got an entirely new combination, fired up down the track, and actually raced Zabrowski's in the finals. So,
And I do want to say that even though Mike had the car all together for the season and had a lot of testing, he got that blower that day essentially, and,
yeah.
and still got it down the track, and it was just an amazing effort and
Yeah.
really, really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Rebecca got some great passes for her first ever event in over a year, since taking some time off to make a human.
I made a
as
human.
you like to say.
I made a human and built in. The race car was basically brand new.
Yeah.
So new engine, new blower, new shocks and struts, new converter,
Everything tweaked
New.
out.
all new everything.
Yeah. It all came together. It was great.
It was. It was really good. I wish the weather had been better for everybody, but we were all in it together.
Yeah, I think I'd probably consider you yourself for a modification. I might need to have you drive the Mamba to get a better time because,
I definitely have weight savings
Yeah,
on just about anybody.
We had Chipotle. That was me eating healthy today. So we're gonna maybe have a new.
We were talking about, but they were like, oh, that's normal. Oh, it's talking about smelling whether a car was rich or not. And whether or not anybody thinks they can do that or not, I mentioned the phrase within normal limits. So maybe this was within normal limits.
As far as the present day on the barbecue tick, like, I don't know, it's an engine, it makes noises as long as it doesn't,
Damage anything while it's making noise.
yeah, it doesn't grind to a halt, doesn't explode, parts don't come out the block. There's the other aspect of just freaking drive it instead of worrying about noises. We've got an 18 up expert.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I think just my own personal opinion and my ownership experience with the car, we have 28,000 miles on it, and yeah, we drive it, and it has over 700 passes at the drag strip. Of course, NA, and Mustang owners are very, for lack of a better term, anal about their cars. So when we first got the 18 third generation motor, you're listening to it, the purr, right? So wait, is that direct and port injection noises or what's happening? So I'm not saying it's a non-issue because I do know of even subscribers who had their motors replaced, but like to Justin's point, I didn't have any check engine lights. I didn't have any loss in performance. My car would once in a while make that tapping noise, but we put some oil additive in there, and it's been quiet. I haven't heard that noise for a while. It works for me. I'm not saying that that's going to work for everybody, but in my experience in 2 years, we've been fine. and we really beat the car, and she's taken it, and she's been maintained properly, and she's done well. So that's my experience. So to the question, yes, when they start hitting 100,000 miles and things like that, then that will really tell the tale. But people look at piston scoring and microscopic. Like, if you're gonna look for it, you're gonna probably find something eventually.
You're gonna find something inside a mechanical object.
Yeah.
I don't know. It goes back to that, when you hear hoofbeats, look for horses, don't look for zebras.
I'm gonna steal that. That's pretty good.
Switching back to Mod Nationals, so Chad Dowd had a great time.
It was so nice meeting Chad and Jessica and Leah and the kids, and signing a hat for Cash, Leah's son. So I definitely want you to make sure that you come to as many as you can from here on out. And like I told you, come to something when I'm not racing so I can actually be a social person and not a weirdo that's trying to fix her shift light.
And bring your car too.
Yeah.
So
that too.
You can race it, and we can support you racing it. And because Chad has a pretty a built 2012 Coyote 6R80 car.
The cream machine.
The cream machine, yeah. And it's got a VMP Gen 3R on it, and we do all the tuning on it, and it goes out and wins races. And I know Chad is really...
Wins races and wins money.
Yeah. And Chad's really looking forward to getting back to that. Mod Nationals had... so VMP and Magnuson Superchargers, VMP Performance and Magnuson Superchargers sponsored the Mod Nationals all-blower class. And this year... we looked at the rules, looked at the participation. You know what? We said we're just going to open up the class to all blower cars, and as long as they have a VIN number, we're not going to worry about it. We're not going to nitpick it. It's going to be what it is.
Run what you brung.
Yeah, run what you brung. Weigh a minimum of 3,400 pounds, which is pretty realistic for a lot of Mustangs that are raced often. If you're a little bit heavy, make it up with power. And it was great. We had 20 plus cars in the class. We had 2 payouts, a pro class and a street class. And I think everybody had a really good time.
Absolutely.
So we were really happy with that. And I'm gonna go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna brag a little bit here. The number 1 and number 2 qualifiers were Rebecca and Mike, both VMP TVS powered cars. And, in the all-blower class, VMP stole the show.
Yep, absolutely. And I was number 2 qualifier and king of the 4-valve too, but the world was not ready for a lady king.
Yeah. Next year.
Next year.
Yeah. With your new car.
I'll be in the king of the 4-valve pro with the new car.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I did. Should I go or not spoilers? Do we do spoilers here?
We have not seen it.
Okay, I won't do spoilers, but I will say this: it's
We're
not a
probably
spoiler.
not gonna see
Oh, you're not gonna see it?
Just because the baby's not into movies right now.
I would say that if you're going to think you're gonna see a lot of racing, it's not it's more about the characters involved.
Got it.
Like, I'll put it like that. Like, I thought we were gonna see more of possibly a Fast and Furious, not as Fast and Furious, but a lot more racing stuff. It's more about the connections and relationships of Carroll Shelby, Ken Miles, Ford, Ferrari, and what was at stake. So you don't see at the end there's a lot, but it's a lot about their relationships.
I could see that. I feel like movies like that are usually, very heavy into the players and the circumstances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, everybody who's doing that is living that in real time, and then they're going back and making a movie about it, which is kind of neat. And so Rebecca and I guess we'll see it one day.
When it comes out on Netflix.
Yeah.
Or Amazon Prime.
Yeah, they could have just said the Ken Miles and Carroll Shelby story.
It would have been.
That would have been but Ford versus Ferrari is way much. We all know about titles.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Titles make everything. So.
It's so funny. I was reading about how to title a paper last night because I was like, oh, I want to write for this paper.
Yeah.
And they were like, make it something that's like a catchphrase. Well, there's your catchphrase.
Ford Ferrari has a good ring to it too. So.
So didn't Ferrari almost get sold at one point. Did they go into that in the movie?
Yes, they went into the disconnect of the movie, which is actually historical. You can look it up. Is that Ford was going to buy Ferrari because Ferrari was going bankrupt, but Ford wanted a majority of the control of the racing team, and Ferrari didn't want to give that up. He said, "You can have it, but I want my racing team." Ford was like, "You can have 10% of it, and we'll keep the rest." And he was like, his Italian anger came out, and he said, "All right, you could go to HE double hockey stick."
So Ferrari wanted to keep racing. Ford wanted to buy into the racing world, and they couldn't buy their way in, so they just went and beat them, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a spoiler?
No, that's history. So
yeah,
they had they had to present the story. But what was cool though too, which you'll see, is a lot of the inter-dialogue with Ford about the circumstance, where some people said, "Just leave them alone. We'll make a bunch of mass market cars. We're wasting money and time doing this.
We'll make a bunch of Pintos.
Yeah,
It will be great."
So, but that kind of bothered a lot of the Ford performance stuff too, because they could actually do it. So
yeah, I mean, it's like, so like in a way we have those internal struggles too sometimes, because the racing and performance stuff, it takes like 10 times more time and money than like doing normal stuff.
Yeah.
But it's what challenges you to be better, and you find solutions to problems, and you stumble across things that other people didn't, I wouldn't like to have trusted other people to learn, and and then you hold those as competitive advantages. So.
B Lightning has a question for you, Stangmode. So once you're boosted, what are your ET goals?
I was talking to Justin about this earlier, because when the Black Mamba originally got its best ever one was a 11.8 stock NA. So the goals kind of define themselves as we reach them, if that makes sense. I don't want to say we want to run 7. So what I want to do is, let's see where we get at first, and then progress from there. Because one of the things that I've kind of, the recipe that makes me feel like I can sleep better at night is that we go in stages and progression, and then we see how the car reacts. Because sometimes you throw the kitchen sink at something, and you'll find the weak part really quick, and that you don't want that weak part to be the motor or the trans or something that's going to be hard to get fixed quickly. So we're going to be working with VMP, and we'll do it incrementally. But I would like to be a car that's definitely going to be a consistent car in the 9s at first, and we'll go from there. And I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities, especially where the car is set up already with, we have the one-piece drive shaft, half shafts, 2,000 horsepower half shafts, steered suspension, things like that. So it has some, of course, circle D converter. So it has some things which are already a good foundation, and we'll just add the VMP recipe to go from there, is my thoughts.
It's going to go fast, though.
It's going to be fast, and I still have the secret mod over here, so we can go, if we want to go really fast, I'll Photoshop it, and then when she gets out, I'm like, can you believe it?
What if she's just a better driver than you?
I guarantee she's a better driver than me. Guaranteed. I would not disagree with that at all.
I mean, sometimes it's better, it's more than just weight.
Listen, it's drag racing is, and I've gotten really into it aggressively the last couple of years, especially with the 18 net platform. It's such a fun sport, because just like football, like every inch is important. Like everything is accountable, and people are like, oh, you just gotta have a good, tire pressure, air, everything, every product you use, the tune, it all comes into this concert, and you see it fly. That's the fun for me. So, it does come into play. We've had the opportunity to do really well, but it's also a combination of the driver's skill and the car and the team behind it. But we will race.
I've seen Rebecca do some, crazy ass saves on the track and just stuff like that. So a lot of it becomes muscle memory and intuition and everything after you've been doing it a while. As the cars get faster, if they get out of control, it's even more messy, and hopefully you don't hit the wall. But that's the worst case scenario.
Well, I don't know if it's the worst case scenario, but it's a bad one.
Yeah, it's a bad scenario.
It's a bad scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there are times that you'll ask me, well, what did you do? And I can't answer. It was just intuitive.
I drove the car.
I did what I needed to do, and that's sometimes that's the only answer I have.
Yeah. You're after that one big wheelie, you are definitely very wheelie conscious.
I am. I mean, so we went out, gosh, it's been a long time now, but we were out with TRZ, and it was the first time the car was doing big wheelies. And the very first big wheelie, Todd told me, well, next time, just shift if you can during the wheelie, and it might bring it back down, and you can save the run. And he said, but next time you're going to be scared to do it. So, once you get more comfortable in the car again, after having a pretty big unsettling wheelie. And sure enough, the very next run, the air got a little bit cooler, the car did a big wheelie, and I shifted and ran it out the back door down 870.
And then one time you shifted and it kept going up, didn't it?
Yeah, usually if it's going to keep going, I feel it. I pretty much know, and I step out pretty quick because I'm not interested in that.
And that's the level of intuition, being able to feel the lift rate and anticipate that and pedal it and get it back.
Know whether I need to shift or...
Because, I look at the videos of her launches and I look at the tune, and I can see where the car set down, because once you're in the air, if you don't keep the power going, you fall. It's just like simple mechanics of pushing something forward. Keep adding more and more power, you'll rise. Keep power the same, you'll stay flat.
Dorian wants to know, how strict are Florida tracks about sub-10 passes without a cage? It really depends, Dorian.
If you want to come down here this winter, we can get you taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do something and you'll be all right. And we'll have you on one of the best track surfaces in the world.
Yeah, but I mean, there's ways to manage the cage thing, because the truth is it happens so easily. You go 9s without a cage nowadays, that there's got to be a little bit of leeway, is my opinion. So we are.
Want to talk about Black Friday?
Yes. Why don't you talk about that?
So Black Friday is coming up next week, the day after Thanksgiving, obviously, for everybody in the world. But we are starting our sale on Monday, so definitely check out the website and our social media to see what we've got going on, and get your parts at the best sale of the year.
Get your parts, your blowers, your tunes. Come get it all at VMP.
I was using parts as a colloquialism to mean all that.
Get your blowers.
Get your blowers.
And then also going on this weekend, Cletus and Cars in Bradenton. We'll be there bright and early to get the rig park get set up. So I think it opens around noon or 1 o'clock. Runs till 9, till they're done doing demolition drag racing. Man, demolition drag racing just sounds like so much fun.
I was gonna say I should do it. I'm not pregnant this time. I should do it. Do we have a car?
Well, Chuck's car, but it's already crashed.
I know.
Yeah.
I would not ask Chuck.
Yeah, we can't do that to the show. I want to put.
We're having Chucky volunteered against Chucky's will over here.
Chris is gonna come over and check on Chucky.
His body's gonna be across the tree. You will not take Chucky.
I want to put an exoskeleton on Chucky, so Chucky can do stuff like that.
There are so many people in that corner of this world that want to do exoskeleton stuff. You guys need to be kept away from each other.
Well, I think, okay, Speed Addict 731. Have I missed the announcement as to when the VMP Supercharger for 18 plus will be available? We've been hinting at it for a while, and can I say it? You'll be able to purchase one next week, and we will be showing off.
I almost said it when we were talking about Black Friday. I was like, oh, yeah. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag.
Yep. So.
Don't tell me secrets, people.
it's coming. It's coming. We're going to start releasing information, pictures, video, details. But there's one in the building, and it's freaking awesome. So with that, that is it for today's Burnout Box. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share.
Oh, we got somebody
Come here.
that wants to say goodbye.
Come here.
Kind of rude.
Bye, thank you. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share.
Check out Stangmode's channel on YouTube.
Yes, absolutely.
And go Stangmode.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.